Oh,
It's go time.
Checking for
I'm
DLC.
a little bit more awake tonight.
Oh, of course.
Game supports
Capcom's
autosave feature. Okay.
Capcom's favorite thing to do.
I'm already into this. Let's go.
I'm in the oddies, you know. I'm one that guy, those guys over there with the hat on.
We all want to be the guy with the hat on.
We do.
Oh,
Okay. Yes. 2 games.
It's everyone's goal in life.
oh.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation.
This thing doesn't.
Washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting.
I think they only voice in cutscenes.
Yeah, they only voice
Okay.
cutscenes and like
great
little
change, and some
voice.
Oh, so
swept away.
we have to act like those voices, the voice actors.
No,
have to.
I
okay.
refuse.
Very well.
Oh,
Pay
so it's on
attention.
here.
They're actually jumping right into the mystery.
Nice. Okay.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Hey, Rick, it's you.
Of course, this is how it's beginning.
It's Yu Yu Hakusho.
Welcome to the carnival.
Bienvenue à la carnival.
Oh, leave the
22nd November, 8:43 a.m. Report Judicar Defendant's Antechamber 5.
Oh my-
I still can't believe it. Still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate?
Bailiff.
Somebody be bailiff.
What?
Oh.
Oh, no, nothing.
Save your glares, murderer.
Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now, here I am, awaiting my trial. Turn down the volume a little bit more.
Okay.
That's enough. Oh, wait.
That's,
no, JC, you need to be the bailiff now.
Okay. I think that's still you, though, talking.
Yeah, no, because I'm the friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not obliged to answer to such abuse, officer.
And who are you?
I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today.
Lawyer?
Yes, and until the judge has given the verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue.
I mean, you got that sword there. Technicalities, look at you. You haven't even graduated yet.
And yet I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke?
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry.
What are you apologizing to me for?
Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry.
There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Well, I must say, been all over the newspaper these last few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it. Did you?
Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone.
Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high.
You mean...
I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma Asogi, my best friend. Also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate.
Not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Well, here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much yet.
He said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started.
Ooh.
Congratulations, Kazuma! Looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last.
I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in the court.
So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple.
Billow, billow, billow.
I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes.
Part of the British Empire. Wish I could see it too.
Ooh.
To come with me. We have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together.
If only it were that simple.
Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going.
Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer.
Hopefully I don't get into any murder investigations.
Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner.
English class. Wow.
I wonder if the original Japanese version of this was as breathlessly worshipful of Western culture as this is.
Yes.
This is taking place during the Meiji Restoration, so it's accurate.
Yeah, I know, but it's just still so funny to me.
It's odd.
But straight after that, that's when it happened.
Sogi. May I have another word?
No, you don't know who this is. Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Hey, what was it here? We mentioned this.
Professor! I didn't know you were coming.
Oh,
It's Professor Oak.
Well, this case has personal significance to me. I'm doing that voice again. But never mind that for now. Asogi.
Sogi, give me pictures of Spider-Man!
You should go. He's got the J.K. Simmons mustache.
He does.
You should go immediately to the judge's chambers.
To His Excellency's chambers? Why?
Just do what I say. He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result.
Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before.
See. I'll go at once then.
I shall accompany you.
Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom.
Yes. Thanks, Kazuma.
Dot.
This is awkward.
If I may,
Yes,
No,
sorry.
you may not.
you must be the defendant. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University.
Professor Mikotoba. Heard that name from Kazuma before. I recall he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad.
Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know.
Know what?
Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain.
Just Boxer says, who said that it had to be historically accurate? Well, I'm assuming that a lot of this is modernized anyway, so...
Probably, yeah. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again.
Ooh.
What?
Harsh. Mm-mm. As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may not have chosen not to tell you. Exclamation point.
Decreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing?
For drama, dude!
The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances.
I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer.
I'm sure that's
what a murderer would say. Get him!
I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities, finger quotes, about today's trial.
Sorry? What do you mean?
You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway.
But then what should I do?
Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction.
Alright, so...
To try to rein in your horrible bloodlust.
Yeah. As soon as the trial starts,
plead guilty, is that what he's going to suggest?
the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do, you're getting married.
I do? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you?
Of course not.
Defendant. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once.
It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours.
What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway.
This is it. This trial goes badly. Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over, and what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder.
As I like this
Done. And so, absolutely no idea of what lay ahead. I embarked on that unforgettable trial.
I like that zoom into the door, though. That was cool.
I won an only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny.
And that Phoenix Wright series. Or I am his great. Okay.
A lot of greats.
9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. How do you pronounce that word? Judicature.
Judicature, I guess. I've never seen it before.
Judicature.
Judicature. Courtroom too.
Judo dick. That's how you say it.
Yes. So, this is a courtroom.
Like his eyes.
Yeah, he's pretty cracked up.
The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power.
Don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there.
Powers that be have demanded that this be secret trial.
Secret trial?
A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend.
What? But why?
It'll become clear in time, but for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin.
I like how he has
Oh yeah, I forgot who's
fingers
gonna be the judge.
flapping in the wind.
Oh my god.
Oh, good. Can I be what's his name, the glasses guy?
Who wants to be the judge?
Joker? Or
Joker?
Jonas?
Joker.
The
I thought that was gonna be the prosecutor.
the super handsome prosecutor isn't in this trial. It'll be in probably next episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll be the judge. I haven't voiced anyone yet. The court will now hear the trial of Let me try that again. We're off to a great start. The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
That prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
As is the defense.
Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate.
That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself.
Normal procedures for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. My beard is very displeased with this. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation no. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial?
This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Oh, I gotta answer.
Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here besides the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate for his defense.
He's going to be... Okay, so... First choice in this game, you're supposed to be an idiot.
What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? Bring me my monocle that I may pop it!
I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself.
What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor... Wait,
Professor Mikatoba told me everything just now before the trial.
he did what?
Said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose.
How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I wouldn't be able to get you
No, it's not that, really.
rising?
It's just that, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you...
Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikatoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in.
Oh, is that me? Sorry. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. And he has a fool for a client, if I do say so myself.
Well. Does the accused admit defeat already, renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Is that so, Naruhodo-san?
Huh? Oh! Yes, exactly. exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. Max,
There we go.
my mind's a complete blank. Oh, so he definitely is Phoenix Wright's ancestor. Okay.
I was gonna say.
You got the look.
I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
Stoker.
Oh, sorry. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. No bullshit shenanigans. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo?
Yes, Your Excellency.
It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken.
My confidence? What does that mean?
He's
means this
questioning
is
your
the
ability to do
tutorial.
the job.
No, he can't be just questioning it more than I am.
So, let's start with the very simplest of questions.
You doing anything tonight?
Yes.
Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case.
Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I'd care to remember. But, wait. So nervous, I can't even remember that. What was it again?
My god, he really is just Phoenix, right?
Okay. Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank.
You know me so well.
All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record.
But I can't even find that.
It's simple. Access the court record with a press of E.
E.
If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there.
Just have to press E for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose.
You just got PCs back then?
Miller.
This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching the people instead with E.
E.
You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press Z to go back.
John H. Wilson. Ah. British. Okay,
My god,
so
you killed Watson!
Yeah, he does look
he
at
was a
Watson.
visiting professor of medicine at Yuma University from the British Empire.
His name was even Wilson. Oh, wow.
Miller.
Remember, everything you do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press R to present. Try now.
Victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson.
Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yuma University 3 years ago.
Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. We really need a we need to find the culprit. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations that they had with us at gunpoint.
There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilled on our soil.
And we just cleaned it.
What? You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
And I didn't do it.
That look in your face says no honor. No honor to the court.
This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court, therefore, wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter, regardless of its accuracy.
In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime.
Well, that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is it?
Exactly. The government needs to convict somebody as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman.
Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. Nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. Fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime.
Killer?
Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better get going.
Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer.
I enjoy how his friend's little, like, bandana straps or whatever just always float in the breeze no matter where he is.
Yes, which is going to generally be indoors.
Oh, he's got the typical makings of a hero, guys, don't you know?
Yeah.
Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow, then, partner.
British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think.
Can't get over this.
Wait. I've seen that man at university. Sure, he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson.
And then I killed him! Wait, no, I wasn't supposed to admit that.
Joker.
Oh, sorry, I thought Dr. Wilson was about to speak.
Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death.
And then he just panics. It's like, it's when I murdered him!
Ryosuke.
It's gonna say right there, post-mortem report. I know how these games work. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body.
Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence.
By evidence? But how?
All he says, do it now!
Really?
Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death, and select present. Do it now!
Don't make me tell you twice.
If I'm not going to be the hero, you are.
Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma.
I'm gonna read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it.
Sorry, yes. That's right. The, post-mortem report.
In the West, the doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. That's a Western thing?
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, here we go. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way.
Oh, that sounds accurate.
Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later.
This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range.
Yes, I see. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. Oh,
I mean,
witchcraft.
yeah, photos are pretty new tech at this point.
Photographic print of the victim has been entered into the court record. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before.
And the first photo you've ever seen is of a corpse.
It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible.
You can still see the fear in his eyes.
Very well. I am satisfied with your answers. Guilty! Let us start the trial.
Oh boy, the juicy, meaty trial.
I love the idea that you could see to the right of the judge. It's like some kind of bottle or something. I'm just imagining it's a decanter of gin. He's just going to be sipping it the entire time.
Certainly, Your
Sipping,
Excellency.
gulping.
So, without further ado, in order to better appraise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
Yeah. This is it then.
I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind.
Professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba?
Yeah. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant.
Ah, of course. He was speaking with me before. He simply said, Kazumi Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial.
He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he?
Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma.
Mr. Kazuma's gonna be the May in this, okay.
Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats.
Only if you ran in that crazy headband and controlled the cold stares first.
Oh, snap.
No, there's a fan constantly on me from off screen. I'm always cold.
Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
I'll do the waiter. I got him. Of course.
Hey, Ray.
My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival.
Ooh.
Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some,
It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me.
guess some
He's got
regular old
tuberculosis.
turn-of-the-century tuberculosis. Yep. Well, it really, really should.
everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors, but not a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's subculture restaurants and Occidental Eatery 3 days ago.
Yes. Yep. Understood. Hosonaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident.
He had consumption.
At once, sir.
So polite. And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. This ain't this so-called Phoenix, right?
Hold it!
Ah, Crosafan.
Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring?
It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied.
That fits in with my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone else in the place.
It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Terrifying menace to society.
Hold on, let me just clarify something here. Well, I did pick up a gun I found lying on the floor beside the professor. I didn't shoot him.
Objection! I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur.
But...
You're back to Canada!
Stoker.
Oh, sorry. The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized. Defendant Naruhodo.
Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You'll have your chance to fight back.
This is, after all, just the tutorial.
Yeah, you can't give your own account unless you call yourself as a witness. For now, we must just quietly listen to the witness.
If I make it fair on one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand, what's the same man we see here in court today?
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student.
Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There's no one else around that table?
What's the matter, Ryunosuke?
That's just not right. I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table.
Really?
It's not something the waiter could have missed. Been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do?
Ooh, cinder glasses.
Uh-oh.
Jonas, what are you doing?
You wait and see.
You gotta wait. You gotta.
Gotta wait until it's time for cross-examination, don't you?
Yes.
That's how Western court works. I don't know if that's how the Ace Attorney game court works.
I desperately want to say something. I was told not to interject.
Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you?
I suppose I am. I'd never have gone to Yume University otherwise.
But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty.
Alright, you scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. There is something I want to say. Just gonna shut my eyes and say it.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection! Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all?
But I'm sure of what I saw.
Osanaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy.
No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone.
I don't believe it.
I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. I'm also an artist. Please, have a look if you'd like to.
Because of course.
Oh, sorry.
Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume.
Jonas?
Oh, that's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone.
My drawing proves it.
Yeah.
Well, you're clearly a very conscientious you're a good waiter.
Thank you, sir.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Oh, well,
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once!
of course, here you are.
What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now.
Ooh,
Something certainly seems to have shaken him. Vader's business card has been entered into the court record.
oh. So, the court has now heard of the process of the case.
Yes. At the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. Well, he's guilty. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Unless he busts out any weird psychic ghost powers or something. Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence for sworn witnesses who will present at the scene of the crime. You're doomed.
What do you think I should do, Kazuma?
Give up.
What do you mean?
Well, can be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Oh, come on. That's not what this game's about. Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You said it, Professor Mikatova said it, and so is the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this.
As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, You're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it?
What?
If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just gonna abandon that duty? You gonna give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke.
Ooh.
The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is.
Finger.
Indeed. Prosecutor Ouchie. Your name sounds like you're hurt. Please continue with proceedings.
Risk. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be.
You can be your devil or your angel.
Just short moments from now. That dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silent forever! Prosecution calls its next witnesses. Send in the big guns.
Tucker.
Oh, sorry. Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Oh my god.
Witnesses. Kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Oh jeez, I just missed that.
I'm a professional mustache model.
I'll do it. Yes, sir. The Great Napoleon Army Sergeant Ace Nosa reporting for Dirty Sir.
Ray, do you want to be this guy?
South, I find employ as a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from effluents of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises on the 2nd District, Curio Kurikuta at your service.
Okay.
Sorry. An antique soldier, an antique dealer, and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. How did you two meet?
Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question.
They must be the diners at the other table the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And not infrequently, converse with interested parties regarding the curios in which I make my business.
Can't understand a word that old man is saying.
He's an antique dealer. It sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. The stupid foreigners don't know an antique from just a jar he found around the corner.
I see. Although, to be
that's
honest,
horrible.
the sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
You both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct?
Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir.
This man's as impossible to understand as the other. I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said.
Oh, this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening.
Yeah, it's decisive.
The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead.
Yes.
Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable?
If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start.
Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred.
Yes, sir. Standing by the report, sir.
Was that a baby?
I thought I heard a baby too.
Sound like a baby.
Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon.
What the witnesses saw.
I was adjusting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a technical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
At that precise moment, bang, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious absconded precious curio.
Well, so you see, Sergeant Noza. Well, so you, Sergeant Noza, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim.
Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unusual, the cruel and unforgivable enemy.
What times we live in when an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day.
This is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone.
Is that really true, Ryonosuke?
Yes, all I did was pick up the gun I saw lying on the floor, because I'm an idiot, like a lot of people. After I had said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got from my seat to leave the restaurant. I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang!
If that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies is a clue as to who that criminal was.
There is?
Ryonosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses.
Is he, like, holding his sword out by the thumb?
That's usually what they're ready to draw.
Cross-examine?
Do it now!
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there's no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring that despicable student to justice.
Well, certainly the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst?
I mean, the defense demands its right to a cross-examination.
Dun dun dun. Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic.
Huh? How did he know? I wonder.
The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Vince is asserting
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant!
That's why it's so commanding. Ooh.
Very well. I'll allow you to actually do what you're supposed to do. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. Like it'll make a difference.
Alright. This is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke.
But I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination.
Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements.
How?
You didn't fire the gun, which means that what the soldier said has to be a lie.
Well, yes, but
It's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence.
right. Evidence.
All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness's lie.
Oh, yes, I'll just pull that out of my ass.
I'm waiting to find out what's wrong with that business card he didn't want them to take.
Let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you.
Alright then. It's all or nothing.
So I know how the soldier is lying, but I'm not sure about the curio guy.
The curio guy's probably going to come up later. Once we start figuring out more details about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he said he was missing something. So
Yeah, that was interesting. I've noticed that too.
Also, he's claiming that he shot that you shot him in the back.
Okay, so we can press statements, or we can present evidence. And pressing statements is usually a good idea. We get more information that way. So, ingesting regulation beefsteak at the restaurant.
Yes!
Jonas.
Why? Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some new interrogation technique?
I hadn't actually thought of what I wanted to ask.
let's go on anything that catches your attention. Anything that bothers you.
Alright then, this beefsteak you mentioned. What kind of food is that?
Attention!
Ah!
Beefsteak is a delicious cut of veal, vigorously cooked on a cast iron grill and served piping hot.
That
Oh.
If food could receive medals of honor, beefsteak would be almost as highly decorated as a cutlet.
Right. I see. Thank you, sir. So, next question. This cutlet you mentioned. What kind of food is that?
Raise your hand.
Attention!
Ah!
Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal, tossed in breadcrumbs and deep fried in cooking oil.
See, we're learning all sorts of things.
So hungry. Accept your guilty verdict, atone for your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it.
Yes, sir. I will, sir. On the double, sir.
Look, you're not supposed to be getting owned like this.
sorry to interrupt, but can you stop being such a dumbass for 3 seconds? How about trying to stick to questions that are relevant to the case?
Oops. Sorry.
No.
I'll do my best. So, next question.
Yeah, Frederick, you are right. I like the details of the 3D too.
Is it just me, or do you keep hearing a sort of wah crying and...
Negative.
Miller?
At least.
No, this is you, Rick.
Oh, me? Oh. Well, at least we've learned he's a big beef lover.
Affirmative.
Not easy knowing what questions to ask.
Achievement unlocked.
Prime presser.
Oh, right.
No, this
Myself.
is... Don't
that
read
was
the
in
green. Don't read the green text. That's just a
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, that's just, we can go through, we can basically go through sentence by sentence and be like, hey, what's up with this sentence? I don't like it.
Yes!
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A Koban boy.
A Koban? You mean an old Edo coin?
Day prior to the incident, a treasure of exceptional value from the Hoei period entered my possession. I took myself to the restaurant the following day, with said items secreted in my bosom pocket. And the hope of an affluent... Cognoscente, appraised of its indisputable value being present.
So, you were hoping to sell your Koban coin? To Sergeant Nosa, whom you met at the restaurant?
Yes, yes. It's quite clear where you're going with this, boy. Sorry about that. You are about to assert that a penniless soldier would have no hope of purchasing a precious koban. Is that so?
Well...
You little upstart cadet. Man, you want to add disrespecting a superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Blatant subordination.
No, I didn't say anything. Although penniless might be just the word I was looking for.
In any case, the hour was already advanced beyond that of the midday luncheon. There remained precious few present with whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business. The gentleman beside me, who was grappling with his braised veal at the time, was my sole prospect.
I see. Firearm with discharge. Observe the enemy's action.
Yes!
The other guy said he was doing something else in the meantime, though.
So, you're saying that you actually saw me at that time?
Affirmative. I saw you. Laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun on the English civilian.
But that's impossible! I only... Miller.
Allow me to confirm just one point, please.
What's that, Private?
Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table.
And so what if it was?
Well, if that really is the case, it would mean that you didn't, in fact, see the precise moment when the killer fired the gun.
Oh, and double. My sixth sense.
Sorry?
My sixth sense of danger. I picked up the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind. Which means, a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, cadet.
Surely that's not really possible, is it?
This sounds very convincing.
Do you think I'd have got where I am today in the army if I couldn't sense danger in the air, son?
Discord. Well, it would seem this soldier is absolutely convinced that he saw you do the deed.
This is not good. So this black uniform university cadet, you're saying that was...
I've had just about enough of your sauce, cadet.
You mean sass?
Who else do you see around here in black uniform?
Oh, there's someone standing right next to me who fits the description as well, but...
It was you, you little weasel. You unloaded the firearm on that man. From behind his back, and you call yourself a citizen of the great empire of Nippon. You disgust me.
I like that look.
What is Ryunosuke?
I'm not quite sure.
It's that
Something the sergeant just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind.
Yes, the victim was shot from the front, and he keeps saying you shot him in the back.
In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you've gathered in the court record. And if you find an inconsistency there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on it. I'm suddenly realizing that Papers, Please is an Ace Attorney game with all the visual novel stuff taken out. It's just find the inconsistencies, point them out, move on to the next one.
Yes!
On your hands and knees? Could you explain that, please?
Yes, everyone's very interested to know.
That's right. Spurning the arthritis, I was, in order to retrieve the lost piece.
What lost piece are you referring to?
The Koban, of course! The exquisite Hoei-era Koban coin! I had just been showing the rare treasure to the military man as he masticated his meal. After averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more. It simply vanished.
The Koban vanished?
Hence, I began to acquaint myself with the intricacies of the floor in order to locate it. And then it happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
None other than. Although it was no concern of mine. I was frantically scouring the core for the aforementioned lost treasure.
So, in fact, you didn't actually witness the precise moment when the incident occurred?
Indeed. Myself, I did not.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here.
Listen, Ryunosuke. You know that there are lies lurking in these statements. It's time to expose them.
I understand that. The question is, how?
Like I said before, the key to this is using evidence that you've collected. You can examine and present evidence while a witness is giving testimony by pressing E. Go through each witness statement and the details about each piece of evidence, and compare all the facts. Somewhere in there, you'll find something that doesn't add up. In other words, an inconsistency.
An inconsistency.
When you find a statement and a piece of evidence that seem to contradict each other, present your evidence with R and rip the witness apart.
Literally.
I have a sword here, just in case.
Press R to rip.
Just be careful, because if you assert a contradiction that has no basis, you'll be given a penalty. And if you dealt too many penalties, the defense's case will fall apart and you'll receive a guilty verdict. So that's it. Peruse the evidence of the court record and find an inconsistency with the witness's statement.
Alright, I'll give it a try.
You can hear the witness's statements over and over again as many times as you like. So keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck, partner. Partner.
Partner.
You still going with that, huh? Okay.
Not that line, it's the next
yeah.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely the next one.
Go back. From the back.
There we go.
Yeah, and the postmortem report says he was shot in the chest. Present is...
Yes!
You could do that, or you could do the photo, I was gonna say. Because the photo has the scorch marks on the front.
Yeah.
Now hold up your hand.
What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Dusting this wad of papers in my mustache.
Your
My
mustache.
my amazing mustache.
Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's clear inconsistency here.
I like how he keeps looking at his hand.
Yeah, because he's slamming the table, but it's not actually shaking like it's supposed to.
Yeah.
That's a
I
joke.
thought he was looking at the text box.
What nonsense. What can this document possibly tell us that we don't already know?
Well, obviously, that, know what I wanted to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth.
I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, well,
Ah! It's so frustrating.
Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court.
Ask him what?
What are you talking about?
It's apparent from a single glance at the postmortem report presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant Ayesanosa.
Yes, sir. What, sir?
The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
But no! That just can't be!
And why not, cadet?
Because...
As is clearly stated in the post-mortem report, fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. The photographic print of the victim clearly shows the same thing. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest.
Jonas.
Yeah, I know. Oh.
Sergeant, according to your witness statements, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it?
No. Well,
Quietly shoved the baby down
What
behind.
was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again.
Certainly. There's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Noza?
yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious La Carnival steak. Sure.
You see.
Then what?
The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Ayesanosa, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all.
Oh, that's absurd.
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Oh, how the turns have tabled!
Achievement unlocked. Inconsistencies here. It's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. But this is what being an ace attorney is all about.
Oh, he said the thing.
You said the thing.
Title drop.
But I definitely saw him. That
Oh yeah,
university
nobody
cadet.
has. Nobody has denied that he was there.
That university cadet there. He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
I never fired the gun. All he did was pick it up off the floor.
And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either.
Myself? I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yes, you were looking for your Koban coin, weren't you?
Indeed. The prize Hoy Era Komban. Hunting around under the table, I was. In case mayhap it had fallen there. And then it happened.
Watch the case be all about the coin instead.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but he did it not, for I was only concerned with finding my absconded Hoy treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Of interest. Did you find the coin in the end?
No.
This is going to be about the coin, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I said.
I see.
That lamentable day, the precious Hoy Koban was lost to me. No doubt, some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself.
Oh,
He's looking at the other guy too. I find it amusing.
As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Accuracy is not on the menu. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon.
But the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now.
What is your position, Prosecutor Ouchie?
It's Archie! Tish, worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back.
You do realize that wolves are not as strong as tigers, right?
My witnesses have further testimony to make.
You're implying that your second move is actually worse than your first one was. Explain.
On hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could possibly have committed that despicable crime.
That's right, I'm talking about the Joker.
The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What?
He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he?
He can't even slam a table properly.
Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear?
As clear as Kiriko glass, Your Excellency.
yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sure.
Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think.
Affirmative. The news member knows a family to rise up through the ranks, sir. Name Ido.
Huh. It would seem those straps are a sign of the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny.
Ido. Attention! Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy.
And GC was worried that this wasn't going to get absurd.
Yeah, I'm glad I was wrong.
True culprit.
Remember that time in the first Phoenix Wright game where they made a parrot testify? Good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing.
Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was. That young lad in black. That much I myself did see.
Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we are the only personnel present.
Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, standing all by himself.
Therefore, no one other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out.
So they are also witnessing that nobody else was present.
Yes!
Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all.
Please, enough of this outbursts already.
But there was a woman. There was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
You call yourself a lawyer, then you will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies.
Yeah.
Or should I call them final fantasies? It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact.
Well, they have photographic evidence of significantly later, but...
Yes.
Oh, I see what they're pointing out. There's only one plate at the table.
Oh.
Tucker.
Sorry.
Well, is this a photographic print of the crime council of the scene of the crime council?
Indeed. Of the table at which the victim was dining, taken by an investigator immediately after the incident.
This definitely does not look like a turn-of-the-century serving plate.
No,
It
that
just
looks like
a
something you get.
steakhouse. That's a steakhouse serving plate right there.
Yeah, it's even got like a little steer thing in the edge of the plate.
This is time travel, y'all.
Yeah.
Anachronism.
You mean anachronism?
Necro.
Yes, that word.
As can plainly be seen, there's only one playset. Playset. Judge?
Well, certainly, based on the appearance of this print, he has to be guilty.
Yeah.
It would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anyone else.
Doesn't make any sense.
The court will add this new photographic evidence to the record.
Maybe she didn't have anything?
I mean, that's very reasonable to assume, but we...
Who would walk into a restaurant and not have anything? It's impossible!
But, yeah, we don't have any evidence to that fact, do we?
Fair enough.
Bottle of
If I
carbonated
bring-
water and steak lunch can be seen on the victim's table.
Oh, of course, it's a bottle of carbonated water. Can't be a bottle of wine.
What's going on here? Perrier. Not it's just not possible that nobody else saw that woman.
The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well.
That's not true. I saw her. Where that I saw a woman with him?
It would seem that we'll be able to telegraph the report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies we have just heard leave no further room for doubt.
Once again.
These are very sensitive political times, we all know. The ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Captain Kushi Achi, will have contributed to the identity of these two great empires is an honor.
How can this be happening? I'm just ready to rule.
Who's this?
Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet.
What?
If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination.
I don't know, Kazuma.
He's just like, even I'm starting to think I'm guilty.
Joker.
Sorry. The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witnesses, but make it quick. I've got a barber appointment.
Rules can be so unbending at times.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys again. I figured we could do the other guy.
Now I'm trying to remember the quote from Star Trek where it's just like, it's like the courtroom is the forge where we find the truth. It wasn't forge, it was a different word.
Is it crucible, perhaps?
Crucible, yes, because I was like, it's a purifying thing. What was it?
Was that the Klingon one? When they were the Klingon trial?
Maybe? I think it was Measure of a Man.
Oh, okay.
Probably. I'm trying to remember.
Which one are you talking about?
Hold on.
The one with the Klingon trial? That was called the Drumhead.
Oh, okay.
All I know is that they keep talking about food, and I'm getting hungrier by the moment.
Yeah, it was Measure of a Man. The quote is, "Your Honor, a courtroom is a crucible. In it we burn away irrelevancies until we are left with a pure product, the truth, for all time."
Nice.
That was Picard's closing statement.
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
Objection! As you have been at pains to point out time and again, I feel I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have caught even a glimpse of this woman.
Only there had been more people dining there at the time. Someone else would have noticed her.
Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant.
I know. Of course the place is almost empty. That's what you'd expect.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Certainly 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone. As a judge, this is something that I should definitely be speculating about.
Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason.
There was?
This was found in the victim's jacket pocket.
Oh, it's always nice when we manage to dig up more evidence that they haven't submitted to the court already. Okay. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, What is that, Counsel?
It is a medical report card, Your Excellency. It would seem that the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant, but he died dining.
On a clinic? Yes, there would indeed Yes, there would indeed appear to be an entry for the date in question. 19th November, noon to past 1 p.m.
The very day of the incident.
Yes, that has been established.
Now, the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation could be more simple. The prosecution feels no need to submit this evidence before, as it really had no bearing on the case.
I wonder.
So I've been told that this actually is a thing in Japanese courts. Like, surprise evidence can totally be a thing. I don't know if that's true, but I have been told that.
That's terrible.
Yes, it is. That would be extremely annoying to deal with.
I read that was actually one of the reasons this series was even made, because they had to make fun of the Japanese court system.
They have a lot of commentary about the Japanese court system. It's obviously been greatly simplified, but certain aspects of this are how they do it in Japan, or how they did it in Japan.
Like
in certain cases.
They don't have jurors, right?
Yeah.
So it's just the judge decide? Okay.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
they do that like in Germany too. It's not usually a jury trial. It's usually judges who make rulings on that sort of thing.
Yeah, America's actually unusual in that regard.
I wonder, what do you think, Ryunosuke?
Huh? Well, it is hard to see how it'd be related. It could be related, actually.
Remember, you can request for it to be entered into the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful.
Did I ask for Dr. Wilson's medical report card to be submitted as evidence or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Raise your hand.
If I may, I'd like to ask for that medical report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what grounds?
And
On the grounds that it's evidence.
The court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Additional evidence would be extraneous. Not to mention if the victim's
Extraneous.
movement. Yeah, sorry. Movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues, and streets, and roads, and turnbuckles.
Beg your pardon?
You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for the submission of evidence.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Well. Very well. The court will grant the defense's request.
Youngsters these days are forever asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend.
Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record.
Victim's medical report card has been entered into the court record, just like what was said.
What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first.
Right, I hear you.
You can get Spider to prolong this trial as much as you'd like, but it's the day after the festival already for you. Or perhaps you've forgotten that these witness statements leave no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate for the accused Korituta-san.
Let me take a look here.
Speaking of which, the waiter's... Oh yeah, that's right. He says she's not there.
I can press space to examine.
Oh.
I don't think that helps at all, but... Kitchen.
Can you... Oh, never mind. I was about to say, can you look at the back of it,
Yeah,
but I realized...
This is an Ace Attorney game. We're not going to be able to look at the back of it until prompted. You could
Yeah.
do that in exactly one of the games, which was the bonus episode from the first game. Because it had like that turning evidence around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had it in the
You can
first
just
game,
barely
too.
see the katakana on the backside
Yeah.
coming through.
In the third game, you could do it too. Work the bottle.
I'm seeing photograph. Magnifying glass. No extra details there.
And
The number of chairs seems to be a discrepancy, but I don't know if that's significant. I see 2 in the photo and there were 4 on the plan. Though that might not mean anything.
Yeah. Unless it
Yeah,
comes
no-
up in like testimony, that's not going to matter. But that's
Okay.
a thing that you can always observe.
But basically, every
Especially
table
on
has...
this first one, they're going to be kind of leading, I think, with most of the lines.
Medical
Yeah,
report card.
they're always like that with the first case.
Okay, so you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone.
That I did. Forgive me for the position I place you in.
The testimonies of the young man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? But let us not forget the incontestable evidence they have to support their statements as well. As can clearly be seen, there's only a single beefsteak on the victim's table, a meal for one.
No.
The antiques dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not possible that they're all lying.
I mean, it totally is, but...
But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest,
Oh, it's Rick.
I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea.
Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now.
Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. Can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light.
I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report you got before.
Oh, you mean this?
Yes. This is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail.
How exactly? You know, read the stupid thing.
You notice that some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press space and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use stuff.
Okay, so we can rotate it in this game.
To rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. By using WASD.
You can shoot it.
You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before.
Oh, you still doing the story, okay.
Warbird, how was the soldier not thrown out as a non-credible witness after he was caught lying? Well, the defense would have to actually press for that, but we didn't. So...
Oh, they do that a lot in the attorney games, Warbird, just to let you know.
Yeah, they will eventually toss out a witness if they're lying for long enough. But even then, they come back, wait a second, I still have one more piece of evidence I have to bear witness to. It's like, you were just lying for 30 minutes straight. Why should we believe you on this one? But no, the last piece of evidence that they bring up is always something critical, so.
Yeah.
And the judge always has amnesia about their lying. He's always just like, well, that does seem to explain everything.
The judge just doesn't want to give Phoenix a break. Let's be honest.
The judge is always presiding over this case completely drunk. That's my headcanon.
He's got that decanter of gin sitting next to him. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail.
Alright, I'll see what I can do. And he is in space to inspect any areas of evidence that look suspicious.
I must use my fingers.
Yes, opening it up and actually reading it.
Oh god, it's this thing we got.
Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history.
In a medical report card? No shit.
And there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia.
Okay, so he definitely could not have actually been eating that day.
Oh, so that was her plate.
Reaction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out?
It seems so. Just before the incident, he'd had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling
No, it's
pain.
topical anesthesia. They use Novocaine.
Yeah.
There's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours per procedure until anesthetic effects have passed.
Yep.
Really?
Sounds like information worth bearing in mind.
Medical report card's information has been updated in the court record.
Ooh.
This new information, meaning of that one particular statement, totally changes.
So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you?
Definitely.
I like these kind of evidence.
Yeah, this is what's fun about these games.
Yeah, it's definitely satisfying to have that sort of got him moment.
Alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself.
I mean, yeah, that is the entire appeal of this game. Being able to slam a table and have powerful music as you make someone sweat about being like, I told you so!
It's also,
Oh, yeah.
it's also, well, it's also because they're making all these assumptions, and then you find the critical evidence that's like, wait a minute, well, you pretty much summed it up, but yeah. That piece of evidence is just like, got him, I love it.
Present.
Yes!
He raises his hand again.
Music stopped.
Well, I think,
But what are you wittering, lad? Call yourself a lawyer?
wish I could. First and foremost here, I'm the accused.
Ryunosuke. Everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it.
Thanks, Kazuma.
I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it is you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking.
Alright, and thanks for the advice. Korakura-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim.
Ah, I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy?
Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection! Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur?
Sorry, what?
You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel.
But,
Let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon where the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may have done before that time is completely irrelevant.
but that's...
Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point.
Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There's surely no way to prolong this trial further.
Oh, sorry. Wow.
Oh, shoot. The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report has no bearing on the matter at all, for that simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could possibly... Okay.
This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that?
What? That Pepsford half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be irrelevant?
Perhaps because Hada Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic.
The dog.
A dental clinic? That's supposed to mean something to me.
Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted.
What's this now?
And furthermore, I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating.
Just what are you trying to say, cadet? He had orders not to eat, so what?
It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off.
What? That can't...
Kuda-san!
What, boy? What?
As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all.
No.
Additionally,
There's more?
you have assured the
What's
court
that,
with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. Oh, he actually slammed it. But that cannot possibly be the case! Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic.
Rah!
It's really done, partner.
Objection!
Here we go. 1 second.
Oh shit, Withers.
Wait, what is this nonsense, you little upstart? These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see that plate of food at the victim's table.
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic?
How dare you? I mean, how dare you?
I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant have turned.
Oh, snizzle snap! Sorry.
Don't you agree, Ryunosuke?
Yes, most definitely.
Well. So, having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who, in fact, was eating the pictured beefsteak?
Why didn't they finish?
The court will hear the opinion of the opinion of the defense. The opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume
Opinion
you're
of the
ready.
offense.
Counsel? Oh, that means me, doesn't it?
Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Take the sword. Stand right through their heart.
Got it! So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been...
Me. I did it. The steak.
I ordered the steak just before I killed him!
Obviously, can only have been someone else who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You let this go, will you? There was no such person.
There was, because I saw her.
When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. Yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witness testimonies are unreliable.
But he ordered a half-eaten steak.
Yes,
The court decides
bring
to
me
push
my-
through a ruling at this stage. We will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial. Relentlessly.
Azuma.
Are you insane? You would take on the government?
Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you.
What do you mean?
I have issue with them! Those two witnesses in the stand!
What?
What are you talking about?
We have demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury.
Perjury?
And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing.
Wow, really? Okay.
That's
Oh.
a bit of a reach.
Complicit in murder? No!
I mean,
I mean,
perjury
if
is
they
more strict, the harsher the sentence is, but I don't think that's also like evidence of complicity.
I mean, if they are lying to cover up for someone who committed a murder, then they could be charged
Yes,
as
that
accessories.
that would be accessories. Okay.
Yeah. Negative. There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. Oh.
That's a hell of a thing to say.
Sure
That's
is.
right,
isn't
as
it?
the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What? What did you just say, Korakuda-san?
Oh, no.
You were just following orders?
Now hold on, lad. I was,
Say you never saw the gentlewoman? When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with the lady from overseas?
What?
Objection!
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is it true, you pair? I gave my life money to you guys! My salary!
Just one simple sip of the tongue.
I bet my hair on you two!
Joker.
Oh, sorry.
Order! Order! Counsel, explain what is going on here.
It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth!
Absolutely not! The prosecution knows nothing of this!
Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut?
well,
That's classified.
So you're prepared to be tried as conspirator to this murder, are you?
You wouldn't. This could be happening.
Ryunosuke, judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Aoshi had any idea about it.
Yeah, he's the easy prosecutor. He would not have been tampering with the witnesses. What do you
He's
say?
also something of an idiot.
Yeah, that too. I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose.
Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit.
We need to name whoever it was that tried to make these witnesses keep their mouths shut.
Of course. We'll need evidence before we make any firm accusations.
Please with the evidence.
Evidence that proves whoever did wield his or her power here.
But how? How can we possibly?
Remember how we made progress before?
Before?
We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything. Make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose!
Joker.
Oh, sorry.
I want answers! If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe. I will execute
Please,
you right here with my own
please.
hands.
Your Excellency! I had no idea about any of this. I swear to any shit to God. I knew nothing. I'm innocent.
And what does the defense have to say about all this,
Well, Your Excellency! I had no time to think. Guess I'm gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes into my head. Okay, can we do this thing right now?
Yeah, it's got the magnifying glass on it. You can turn it around now.
Okay.
Chief Inspector.
So the waiter's
Hosonaga.
actually from the police.
He lied about his identity. Well, that's unexpected.
What is?
Look, you see it here? It says it's his name here, Satoru Hosonaga.
Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point.
Not the name that's unexpected. It's his job title.
His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth?
I have no idea. But let's face it, police have a lot of power and influence. They're wielding it somehow here.
Waiter's business card information has been updated in the court record. Let's get to the restaurant's layout on its back. On the front, it stated that Hosonaga-san is a police inspector. As a prosecution, the only person with necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is...
Yes!
Surely that would be... Satoru Hosonaga-san!
Hosonaga-san? The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Objection! Poppycock! Sayonara! What's possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence.
Even a head waiter?
For once, I would agree with you.
Respect.
If, that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What? If he truly were.
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this chord with the truth.
Truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's Hosonaga-san's real identity, as proven by the evidence.
Yes!
I care.
Stoker.
Yep, sorry. The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in question? I agree it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we conclude anything.
All judges are the same in this series. Sorry, Your Excellency. That's the back of the card. The back of the card is of interest.
I beg your pardon?
Or perhaps I should have said the front?
Look, just
Yes.
turn the damn
The
card
front of the
over.
back of the card. That's what the telling detail is. Okay, Ryunosuke, you could choose your words a little more carefully than that.
Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in question's profession. His true profession.
Waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good! God!
Oh my god! That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter's a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you see this foreign gentlewoman at the service, at the scene?
Well...
Inspector Hosonaga!
I was worried something like this may happen.
Jonas, how could you?
The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realized it was a possibility.
Okay.
Sorry. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Flashback voice.
Well,
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
of course. Here you are.
Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card.
I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective?
But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course! Your salary must be terrible!
I was working undercover.
Undercover?
Undercover.
Yes. There have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover.
Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents?
That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Can't let off the hook that easy.
Okay.
Very well then, Inspector Hosanaga, but you will elaborate on one point for the court.
Of course, Your Excellency.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct?
Correct, Your Excellency.
Unbelievable.
As I suspected.
Bang.
Bang. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman.
So the truth comes out.
I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders.
Special orders? You mean to say...
Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. There's someone else on the chain.
But what if this English woman was the killer?
I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea.
Ooh.
The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as the primary suspect... Well...
Would make it an eternal affair, but to name a Japanese person as a murderer would mean it's all of a sudden an international incident.
Yeah.
Literally, this is making it worse.
Yeah. Well, without irrefutable evidence,
Yeah,
that would
but
be completely...
in that case, You would be trying an English person in a Japanese court, which would still make it an international incident.
They did mention that the country has trying to keep good faith with them, but they're probably doing it wrongly from what I'm seeing here.
Well, probably.
Well, they got scared. That's what I'm looking at it.
So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case.
Ooh, she's a phantom?
But it's not right.
Nah.
One possibility does spring to mind.
What do you mean, Kazuma?
Yume University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman.
What?
Of course, now we know it was too easy to pin it on her. Okay.
You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour.
You mean...
When I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, sorry. It's not responding. There we go.
Then the court demands you name the lady in question at once, Inspector.
The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss Giselle Brett. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yume University's medical faculty.
What is happening here?
I admit that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. Good job. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with this situation.
Very well, my thoughts on the matter are as follows. Throw this kid under the bus and execute him. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. This has turned out to be utter bullshit. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Yeah, what's good with Your Excellency? That would mean missing the known deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be displeased by such an action.
Well, be that as it may. Calm yourself, counsel. I will not allow the government of any country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom.
Oh.
So, Inspector Hosonaga,
Yes, sir.
you will locate this Giselle Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency.
At once, Your Excellency.
But that means you're going to be going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau.
Yeah, you can't disobey a judge's orders, though.
Archie's not having a good day.
As I said before, it is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly.
So it won't be a problem.
And you're going to show up
Consumption
dead,
doesn't
huh?
get it first.
Nothing will get in my way. Unless I drop dead.
Sorry. Court will adjourn briefly. And, the prosecution must call the English student Giselle Brett to the witness stand. You know, like you should have before. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency!
Well then. Good, then we will have a 30-minute recess before reconvening. I'm gonna go down the slides!
The voice Stoker's using. I'm like,
To be
why is
continued.
this so familiar?
right
And now
as we
I'm
hit
picturing Bowser as the
And
judge.
yeah, perfect timing. To be continued at midnight. Wow, perfect timing.
Yeah, it'd be nice
That
if
is
all of these sections were exactly 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah. It does feel like it. I hope it's like that.
Yeah, I think I could just quit out.
Okay.
22nd November, 11:38 a.m.
Reggie says, you all have amazing timing. Thank you. I put
was,
effort into my groveling.
What year is this?
Sometime in the late 1800s.
Man.
So,
I'm trying to remember, when did Japan have a telegraph line all the way to Britain?
Hmm.
That must have been like late 19th century, early 20th century, because it was definitely not like a year after Perry showed up and said, "Open your borders."
Perry the Admiral!
Graycon says 1902 maybe, since an Anglo-Japan treaty was signed.
Oh.
That
Okay, so it
sounds
might be
right.
1902. Or thereabout.
Yeah, they have cameras, so that doesn't really.
Warbird says 1894 was a Japanese-Brit treaty.
Oh.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
so yeah, we're looking somewhere from like 95 to 1905.
well, isn't that interesting?
Just a little while back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah,
little,
I've slept since then.
just a little 120, 130 year travel back.
Yes.
Yeah, you know.
A smidge.
Alrighty.
Wow.
Now that we are all very hungry from having
Yeah.
that, evidence.
Steak.
Time for
Talk about
some
steak
midnight
so
meal.
much.
Yes.
I couldn't stop thinking of that water, water. Never mind. I screwed up.
All right. Stream adjourned.
Dream adjourned. There you go.
Everybody go to
30-minute
recess.
recess.
Yay,
Don't we just-
recess! Woo!
Go eat your
All
steak.
right.
and have-
Recess.
Court is down recess. Go eat your steak and have yourself a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.